Hey everyone, it's Jordan. Today I'm be doing the Christmas cookie book tag. So I did this tag 3 years ago and I had fun with it the first time, plus you guys know that I love cookies. I know I'm not wearing a Christmas themed shirt right now, but I just still want to do this tag, and I'll leave the original video down below so you guys can check it out. And like I said, I did this 3 years ago and I had fun with it the first time and I just wanted to do it again, so let's get to the questions. So the first question is chocolate chip cookies, the cookie that's comforting in any season. Name an old favorite. And you guys know that I've read so many books before I started BookTube, and I have so many books, but the book that I picked is A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. This is my favorite Nicholas Sparks book of all time, and I still reread it whenever, and I watched a movie whenever, and it's been my favorite. I have like top 5 favorite or top 4 Nicholas Sparks books, or top 5, but this has always been one of my top favorites. So the next question is Biscotti, the cookie that is tough to bite into but totally worth the effort. A book that was difficult for you to get into, but you're so glad that you stuck through it to the end. There were a lot of books that have that, especially this year when I've been in a reading slump and I've just been slowly reading some of the books. But the book that I picked is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagun. The reason I have trouble getting into this book is because of the world. I like the characters, but it's the world that's kind of like confusing in the beginning, but then I started to understand it as I got through it. But like the question said, I'm glad that I've stuck through it and I can't wait to read more books in this series. The next question is sugar cookies, the cookies that come in all shapes and sizes. Give a diverse recommendation. There's a lot of books that I've read that's been diverse, but the book that I picked for this is Kingdom of Souls by Raina Barron. This is a fancy book that I've read this year that follows a girl who's part of the family of witch doctors, but she's the only one who doesn't have magic, and she goes to a ritual to borrow some magic in exchange for the years of her life to search for missing children, which I did really enjoy this book. I can't wait for the sequel to come out next year, and I definitely think people should read it, especially when it's written by a person of color. And if you're looking for a fantasy book that's different from others, this is definitely one of my recommendations. So the next question is Butter Cookies Blossoms, the underdog cookie that eventually becomes a Christmas favorite. Name a character that slowly but surely grew on you. This one always been tough for me, but this one I definitely know I was liking, but I liked her more further than I read, and that is Audrey Rose from Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. She's a very different character that I've read, especially when she's studying dead bodies with her uncle, and I can't even remember the term for that medical position, but she is an awesome character, and of course I love her and Thomas More at Hunting Prince Dracula, which I've read this year, and I love these characters so much, and I just really want to continue on with the series, and I don't have the other 2 books yet, and yeah, like I said, Audrey Rose was the characters that I was slowly starting to like, but she definitely grew on me a lot, especially in Hunting Prince Dracula. And the next question is Snickerdoodles, the cookie with a name that you can't say without smiling. Name a book that made you smile or laugh. And the book that I picked for this, and of course I've read the first one 2 years ago, and then I've read the second book last year, and that is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I just love these characters so much. I love the story, and I can't wait to read the last one, which I'm really sad that is the last book, but I just really felt connected to the characters, and plus Laura Jean bakes and she makes snickerdoodles, and I know that the author left a recipe in the back. I think, yeah, she left a lot of Laura Jean's Christmas cookies favorites in the back, which I love because I love to bake, and I love Laura Jean, and I love Peter, and I love all the other characters. I'm just really excited, but sad about Always and Forever Laura Jean as the last book in the series, but I can't help but smile every time I think about this book, and I love the movies also, and I can't wait for the third one to come out next year, I think. I'm not sure yet, but I can't help but smile whenever I think of this book. And the next question is fruitcake cookies, the cake that should never have made into a cookie, a book that you could do without. And this is like another difficult one, because there's some books that I gave like 3 stars and I could do it without, but there's one book that I've talked about on my channel a lot, and you guys know that I have a love and hate relationship with this book, which is After by Anna Todd, and I just really could do it without it. And I know my grandma, you guys, how my grandma's trying to get me to read the other books because she said it's gets better and better, but I'm like, how does it get better? And I know the second movie that's based on the second book just came out, and I'm like, oh, I'm really not sure if I really could do without it, but I know you guys probably will laugh at me if I read the sequel and still have the same feelings as the first book, but still, I could do it without this book. And the next question is Gingerbread House. It's more than just a cookie, it's a masterpiece. A book that has the best writing or world building. This one's a tough one because I've read a lot of fancy books that have good world building, and especially in middle grade, because I've read more middle grade this year than I have in the past. And the one that I picked is The School of Good and Evil by Saman Chinani, and I just love this book so much. I love how it's like a world of different fairy tale characters and their kids. This is described as almost like Disney's Descendants, but just children of different fairy tale characters in general from original fairy tales. And I just love the characters, and I love the world, and I love this school, how like the one building is for the good guys, the heroes, and the other one's for the villains. And the 2 main characters, one is supposed to go for the evil, which is Agatha, and then Sophie, who's supposed to be in the good, but then they switched. And I can't wait to read the other books in the series because I want to know what happens to the character, especially what happened in the end. This is like one of the best middle grades I ever read, and I definitely want to read more of them and more of the books in this series. And I just love the world of this from this book. The next question is cookies baked specially for Santa. Share a book you plan on reading this holiday season. Usually I read A Christmas Carol, but this year I'm definitely going to be reading Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Sylvia, which is a historical fiction about Charles Dickens and how he wrote A Christmas Carol. And I got this as a Christmas present from my grandma 2 years ago, I think, and I still haven't picked it up. But it is I'm definitely planning on reading it because it was a pick for my TBR game, Ticket to Ride, and it's definitely one of the books that I've been wanting to read. And plus, this is perfect for me to read during this holiday season, especially when I'm reading a book about the author who wrote A Christmas Carol. And the next question is, Cookie Swap, what's your favorite holiday cookie? And my answer is still the same as 3 years ago. Sugar cookies are my favorites. I eat those all the time, even though I'm actually starting to eat. I honestly miss eating snickerdoodles, and I've never made them myself, but I know I've had them before, and like, it's weird because I love making sugar cookies every year with my family, and I just miss baking in general, and I haven't baked in like a few years, and I always bake with my family like every few months for different seasons, especially Christmas, and sugar cookies are always my favorites any time of the year. And the next question is a glass of milk to wash it all down. What's your favorite holiday drink? Same as 3 years ago. I drink coffee. I don't drink like hot chocolate, or I don't have any holiday themed drinks. I'm a really picky when it comes to food or drinks, but I'm guessing like if it says can Oreo milkshake out just because it's a cookies and cream like milkshakes, and I honestly milkshakes have been becoming my favorite drinks this year since I first tried it at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love milkshakes. Can that count? I don't know. My drinks are usually either coffee or milkshakes this year. Will that count? I don't know. So that's all for the Christmas cookie book take. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what's your favorite kind of cookie to eat in a holiday season. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!